Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today I'm going to be taking a look at, and remarkably, it's my first look at Deathbringer, which is Deathbringer RPG. It's kind of like an extension of any edition of Dungeons and Dragons you wish to use it on, or multitude of OSR games as well. And so this was written by Dan Masters, who is Professor Dungeon Master over at Dungeoncraft. And the reason why I say it's remarkable that I haven't actually gotten around to doing this is because I've had it for nearly a year. I picked this up on Drive Through RPG, and this is really the first time that I'm really digging into it and taking a look at it. So, without further ado, let's start taking a look at Deathbringer from Professor Dungeon Master. So he recommends that you print this out, and it's a trifold, double-sided trifold pamphlet, and having just come from a an in-person convention, I'm starting to look at things in the context of what would work really well at a gaming table at a convention type setting. And this certainly clicked into my mind because some of the key things here is it has the basic ability adjustments, it has the character classes, and I'm going to go into further detail with the PDF. It has the types of roles and some random charts and such, and then a few more rules about critical hits and more combat, corruption, which I will go into more detail, healing, and then converting spells and monsters. But what I really liked was that it does have a character sheet on the back of this, and keeping it in that context of using this at a convention, I could definitely see um, printing out about 10, 15 of these, choosing some of the character classes and filling in and making pre-gen characters with just the section of the name. All characters in using Deathbringer are human, so you don't have to worry about people selecting different races for their characters. Just the class and the level you can set at the table at the time, and then just hand these out to them. And now they'll have something that they can utilize right there. They have the rules right in front of them, and then when the session's over, they walk away with it. So um, it's a little reminder of the great time that they had at the table, which is something that I, really do like the fact that the tables that I played at, the players were able to walk away, including myself, walk away with the character sheet that we were using during the session. So, without further ado, let's jump right into what Deathbringer RPG from Dan Masters has to offer. So here we go, and I will expand it. So the first page, which is landscape, actually the whole thing is landscape, basically goes through. So what is Deathbringer? Deathbringer is a streamlined, grim, dark version of the world's most popular tabletop role-playing game. It is not a game so much as a kit, a toolbox of hacks to create a fast-paced, grittier game. All right, so these rules can be used by themselves or imported, into a 5e game or OSR retro clone. Um, why is Deathbringer? We enjoy RPGs where death is a real possibility and danger lurks around every corner. We like PCs who are gritty anti-heroes struggling to survive in a hostile world. We also like games that feel less like a tactical exercise and more like movies, where players use natural language like, I sneak up behind him and stab him in the kidney, as opposed to, I move 3 squares and flank him for an opportunity attack. In Deathbringer, You are not limited by what is written on your character sheet. Deathbringer dice make it possible for any character to swing from a chandelier, smite an enemy, or turn a leg of mutton into an improvised weapon, because every character has the right to kill someone with a leg of mutton. Enough talk. Go, and may your death be one worth remembering. And so, how to fold the page and such, and character sheets are on page 4. Really cool character sheet. Once I get to it, you'll see. And where you can find Professor Dungeon Master. Dungeoncraft is the YouTube channel, and so on. So here we go. So critical miscast. So let me get to the proper fold, right? So we're going to start kind of weirdly. We're going to start on the basics and abilities here, and then I'll work forward. So I will jump around on this. This is obviously not the printed. When you fold it, you'll actually see everything in better detail. So the basics and abilities. You start out with 8 build points. Distribute these bonuses between your 6 ability scores with no higher than +6 in any one ability score. Ability scores range from 0 to +10. All right, so an example here is this particular example. 5 points were put into strength, which means that the strength would be a +5. So we're only dealing with the modifiers here. Dexterity is a +2, con is a +1, and then intelligence and wisdom are 0, 0, and charisma is a +1. And it goes through and explains what each of the attributes actually relates to as far as their ability scores and such. Hit points is pure. Hit dice do not add con. So defense is 10 plus dexterity plus armor. All right, so it's an ascending armor class. Although you could easily make this a descending if you just know the armor classes um, of the characters and use a THACO basically to work around that. You start with D6 gold pieces, a water skin, and D4 days worth of rations. So now the next page that we're going to go to is the character classes. So let me scroll out a little bit more. So here we only have 5 character classes. You have the Deathbringer, who has a D10 HD. Uh, Use any armor or weapons. Spend a Deathbringer die to make 1 extra attack. Second attack at a 5th level. And to start, they start with a doublet, a shield, and 2 weapons. The Grim Scribe is a D6 character, cannot wear armor, uh, no spell slots. You roll to cast. DC is a 10. On a roll of a 1, you gain 1 corruption, and and roll on the miscast. You gain spells by finding scrolls and spell books, or by having a friendly higher level magic user to teach them to you. You are a living grimoire. Must tattoo all spells on your skin. To start, you start with 4 cantrips, 2 first level spells, and a dagger. A scoundrel is hit dice D8, light armor only, advantaged when attempting stealth, climbing, and listening, lockpicking, searching, etc. +4 to hit and double damage from behind. You start with a leather jacket, a club, a dagger, thieves' tools, rope, grappling hook, and a lucky charm. The Witch Hunter is a D8 character, light armor, cast Detect Evil and Protection from Evil once per day, turn undead at will. They start with a leather coat, club, crossbow, holy symbol, and 6 torches. Plague Doctor is hit dice D6, leather armor only, cure wounds once per patient per day, cure disease, and cure poison once per day. They can create D4 potions a day. Uh, Rolling a 1 is an acid splash, rolling a 2 is a sleep, rolling a 3 is a poison spray, rolling a 4 is a bomb, and A 5 is healing. A 6 is hallucination. Hallucinations. The bomb does D10 damage. You start with leather, a beak mask and coat, a meat cleaver, medical kit, very suspicious diploma. All right. So the next page now is this is how we roll. So advantage and disadvantage for cover, low visibility, having the proper tool, etc. Natural 20 means a plus D12 damage, and you lower the opponent's defense by 1. Natural 1 is a critical failure, quiver is empty, you are disarmed, or you critically miscast. Deathbringer dice. These replace class features, skills, feats, and inspiration with Deathbringer dice. Begin each session with a DD equal to your level. So if you're first level, you're going to have 1 extra die. All right, called the Deathbringer die. A player can spend a DD to add D6 to any D20 roll, inflict an additional D6 damage on a successful hit, absorb D6 damage. You can use multiple DD at the same time. DD cannot be used to alter a natural 1 or used for an initiative roll. They are not replenished with the rest but respawn at the start of the session. Store up to 10 DD on your sheet in this slot. All right, so you can save up to 10 and then you have to start using them up. Background, you can roll your background a D20. Random misery, so you can roll another aspect of your background under random misery. And then the next sheet is the character sheet. So here you have the character sheet here. And then on the back of the page, the last 2 panels, we're going to take a look at the critical miscast. So on a 1 to 10 on a D20, your spell fizzles, right? The spell fails, ghostly laughter fills the room. On a 11 to 15, it backfires. Caster takes a damage or effect. A 16 to 19 is a disaster. Caster ages D20 years, loses a level, gains a mutation, summons a hostile monster, disintegrates all armor within 100 feet, hits the wrong target for full damage, or something equally horrifying. And a 20 is catastrophic. Caster explodes in a shower of gore. All right, so so pretty extreme stuff, right? Weapons, we have the different weapons here. So a D2 is a fist, a kick, or a headbutt. A D4 is bone, club, dagger, improvised weapon. A D6 is a mace, short bow, spear, or staff. A D8 is a battle axe, longbow, rapier, sword, or hammer. And then finally, a D10 is a crossbow or two-handed sword. Armor, light is a +1 to defense. Medium, +2 to defense. There are some mediums that are +3, such as the Brigadine or full chainmail. Heavy is a +4, full field plate. Kill shots. 1 to 5 is an agonizing death. Your attack inflicts grim wounds to vital organs. Victim dies in 1 to 4 rounds. These are your critical successes, right? When it's combat. 6 to 10 is a clean kill. You decisively devastating attack drops your opponent with quiet simplicity. 11 to 15, brutal doom. You overkill your target with force, crushing bones, spraying blood, a real mess. A 16 to 19, splatter and gore. Your attack renders the victim unrecognizable, smashing it to a pulp or hewn in two. And finally, a 20 is a Deathbringer. So powerful is your kill, a nearby enemy is also hit. Enemies who view such a kill are terrified and intimidated. So now we have improvement. So you can gain between 1 and 4 XP per session, level up at 10 XP. 100 gold pieces equals 1 XP. So if you discover 100 gold pieces, that is going to give you 1 experience point. When you level up again, gain an additional hit die and a Deathbringer die. Once you reach 20 plus hit points, roll new HD with disadvantage, no rerolls. Raise any ability score by 1 on levels 3, 5, 7, and 9. Now we go to the combat. Rounds are 6 seconds. Group initiative every round. D6, highest roll wins. Ties, simultaneous attack. Players take turns clockwise from the GM. Everyone must declare actions, and magic users must declare their spells before initiative is rolled. If a magic user loses initiative and is successfully attacked, the spell fails. PCs can move up to 20 feet and attack in one round. No bonus actions. Stunts, which are maneuvers such as pushing, disarming, tripping, blinding, the GM rules whether the stunt is possible and if the player has advantage, disadvantage, or makes a clean roll. If the roll succeeds, the stunt is successful. At 0 hit points is unconscious, negative is dead. Spells, use any OSR or 5e spells you like, but the PC must find them through exploration. DC 10 to cast, saving throws are 15. Corruption. You gain +1 when you commit an evil deed or roll a natural 1 when spell casting. At 10 corruption, you have lost all humanity and become a monster controlled by the GM. Healing. Use a Deathbringer die to stitch up wounds after combat. Healing hit points equals con every day of complete bed rest. Converting spells and monsters. So this is the final thing. Import monsters and spells you like from 5e or OSR games. Monsters are pure HD, no con bonuses. Spells do the same damage. Magic items are virtually non-existent. Potions are rare. And there we have the Deathbringer Rules Light TTRPG from Dan Masters. So there you go. You can basically use this as a modification to, as it's stated, to either 5e or any D&D or fantasy role-playing OSR game that you wish. And like I said, I really like the fact that it comes just like this, and you just print it out, you trifold it, and you can very easily use this at a convention. Fill it out, hand it out, and here you go. This is your character sheet. You can give it to them blank as well and let them quickly create their own character using the rules that are contained on the packet. So I hope you like this video. I mean, it's really cool. I keep on looking for these ideas that I can just throw out at a convention, even an open table type of situation. Say, hey, who has 15-20 minutes that they want to kill, maybe in between games or whatever, or during lunch, and just bust out Deathbringer at your table, drinking a beer, eating a burger, and killing some monsters with Deathbringer. So hope you like this video, and as always, keep on playing out there, keep on enjoying yourself, with whatever game system that you're looking to play. Try to get out there to some conventions. We're starting to get into convention season. Conventions are opening up, and it is such an exciting thing now to get back into some in-person gaming for many people. And even if it's a small convention, it's just unbelievable the excitement and the energy that takes place even at small conventions. At the tables, and you see everyone around you, everybody, just the whole murmur of of the event and everything, and you hear people cheering at tables, you hear people their character just died and they're like, and but still laughing. uh, that's what gaming is all about. Gaming is all about sitting at the table and just having a good time with it. So I know there are some people out there who's like, oh, if you're playing if you're playing any tabletop role playing game just for the purpose of fun, um, don't listen to that nonsense. That's that's just not someone that truly understands the hobby and what it's meant for. You're supposed to be having fun at your table. If you're not, pick up and find a different table to play at, because and just be ready to play a game like this that's pretty grim and dark, right? Be prepared that your characters can die, and that's why it's important to have such an easy system like this. To You can just generate a new character in less than a minute and get right back into play again. So as always, thanks for joining. Hope you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed and haven't subscribed, and just have a great rest of your weekend. Take care.